YouTube. Hey, everybody. I know I haven't done that in a while. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Let's see. Shall I set up the live on TikTok as well? I think so. Because why not? We'd hate for those folks to miss out on my presence. Okay. Wow, I can go live as a fish on TikTok. Oh, that's fun. I guess I shall do that. Hey, everybody on TikTok. Hey, everybody on YouTube. Because why not? I know, I'm just dipping and doing. Hey, David. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. See, this is where TikTok excels, right? You go live on YouTube, there's really no filters. But I'm live over on TikTok, and they got me into clownfish. So why not? I guess I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. It's funny, I'm live as a fish on TikTok. Shall we talk about the Titanic, the Titan? I don't know. I don't really want to give my 2 cents into that. Does anybody else want to put their 2 cents into it? There are some folks who are blaming the orcas. How about we not do that? How about we not do that? I'm going to tell you why. The chances of orcas attacking a human being purposely is like a slim to none chance. So I doubt that's it. The move, well, 3-day drive. It was a 3-day drive. That was actually kind of interesting. We really didn't enjoy anything. Hey, Mr. J, we didn't really enjoy any of the sights and saw, scenes, driving down to Florida. But Florida is, well, it's Florida-ing. It's, it's a lot. There's a lot to unpack there. I don't know. I guess it's just hard to say because, I didn't think things were going to be as bad as they are in Florida right now. But, hey, DD Files, it's good to see you as well, Mr. J. There are some things, that I'm not really a fan of. I didn't move here for the politicians, so say Florida's the free state, then, you have to follow through on that. Let teachers do their job. And I don't know, how do I turn this filter not working to my advantage? Mirror your video. I don't know. Settings. I don't know. But yeah, I don't believe in books. I don't believe in banning drag. Gay. I'm not really like a fan of all that, but Florida's nice otherwise. For the most part, people here are pretty friendly. They do call it Southern New York, which I guess that would depend on what part of New York we're talking about. Which one are we discussing? I explained, it's actually a very interesting conversation to have with people here in Florida, because people automatically assume that New York is a blue state, and that's not 100%. So when I go to explain that to people, people are really they're really shocked. They're shocked about that. New York City is very liberal and very democratic. The rest of the state isn't. So when you explain that to people, they're just very shocked. But that's what it is. There's some folks here that don't really want New Yorkers here because they think that the whole state is blue. But again, like I said, that's not very truthful. Um, it's not that's not it at all. So you know, this stream over here on TikTok isn't working out, so I'm going to close it out. So yeah, so that's what it is. But it's nice. It's nice here. The weather's nice. Can't complain about that. Hurricanes are not something new to my life, so I'm not afraid of that. However, hurricanes here have an added bonus feature, which would be the tornadoes. We don't have those in New York usually. So that's a little scary because I don't really have much experience with that, but in due time. Let's see. Florida is not really good if you have Medicare. Okay. I'm going to tell you that right here, right now. So if you have Medicare, I would highly suggest you stay where you are if it works out well where you live. Don't do that. Um, it's, hard. Mental health care here is garbage. I've actually given up on therapy here because every time I find somebody who takes my insurance, um, the first one I had was a little too political. And while it's not really her place to tell me what her politics are, I'm glad she did. But she told me, but because of her politics, she was gaslighting my trauma. So I can't work with somebody like that. So that's not good. I mean, you really kind of can't leave politics out of therapy because, if you're going to talk about a certain trauma that a certain party doesn't, you know, that has their certain feelings about how it works, I guess it doesn't work. Not to say that there's good and bad on both sides of the fence. Um, so there are some parts of Florida that need some improvements, like the governor and things like that. But um, you know, people are talking about how they want teachers to be paid more here, which is kind of interesting because it feels like teachers really can't teach much here. They're told, I mean, teachers have enough to deal with, so they're not going to make your kid gay or talk to them about being gay or any of that. So I don't understand where that whole thought process goes. You know, um, one thing I have to say that I like about Florida is that when it comes to trade schools are only allowed to offer programs that equate a job. So, like in New York, I went to a trade school, and the program that I didn't really want to take, but I got talked into taking, didn't necessarily equate a job. I was told it was a stepping stone to college, or I would need further training. So in Florida, they don't allow that. So if you go to a trade school, they only offer I don't know a few different programs, but the majority of them are something that's going to equate a job, and they actually will train you on job sites. That way, you have that experience. Like when I took the animal science program in New York, um, we weren't trained. We were trained on site on a farm, but Long Island is not like a farm dense place, so that kind of training really doesn't work out. In that case scenario, unless you move, and so that doesn't really work out. I was going to take the home health aid program. Well, actually, they don't call it that. They call it patient care technician. Um, the difference is patient care technician works in a nursing home or in a hospital setting, and so you don't need The difference between New York and Florida is that if you want to be a home health aide in New York, you don't need a driver's license, because most of your clients have access to paratransit, or some form of public transportation or medical cab or whatever. So if you don't have a driver's license, there's no issue for you to be a home health aide, without a driver's license. Here in Florida, you must have a driver's license for that. So that's why they have the patient care technician. So you can do that job in a nursing home facility or hospital. I was going to do that originally, but there's some new legislation being passed, where doctors can discriminate patients based on race, religion. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it does, because, like I said, I went to BOCES in New York, and that didn't equate a job. But here they do. So I don't want to do the home health aid thing because of the whole, that whole thing. But after really thinking about it, I decided that now that program, see, now the patient care technician program, they will send you out to a facility, and you work, alongside doctors and nurses there, which I think is really great, because we didn't have that with our programs in New York. But I'm not going to be doing that anymore because of the legislation that's being posted. And if I ever go back to New York, I could definitely go back and do the home health aid thing over there. I do foresee myself going back at some point in my life. I don't think Florida is going to be my my permanent residence, unless things change, or the state, or better yet, or maybe if the state doesn't get washed away in a hurricane, right? Yeah. Well, that could happen to Long Island too. I thought I saw something about that. I mean, I was talking about, the whole fire situation. How is that going? Who's up north? I want to know how that's going, because I have to go to New York on Friday, and I was a little concerned about the whole smoke and ash coming down from Canada. They actually closed Yankee Stadium for a night, which I thought was crazy. He was saying, with all the money that they spent to build Yankee Stadium, you think that they would have fans and things like that to avoid having to close the park. But the thing is, you can bring all the fans you like and stuff, but it's going to get in your eyes, and it's going to burn. It's going to burn your nose and your eye. Who's going to want to sit through that? I mean, to be quite honest with you, do I think that they closed Yankee Stadium for the people watching the game? Absolutely not. They can care less about people who buy tickets. Let's be honest. They probably canceled it because of their biggest asset is the baseball players. If they get sick from the smoke and ash, that's not going to go really well, right? You don't want smoke inhalation, But how's that going? The thing with that whole fire, scenario, my concern is, the last few years, winters have been pretty dry. Winters have been pretty dry on Long Island, and if in New York, that could be really bad because we could sit here and cry all we want about how much snow sucks. It does. I don't like snow. That's why I'm in a place where snow doesn't exist anymore. But the thing is, without snow helps create the forest floor. It keeps it. That's how it, with all the leaves and the logs and stuff like that, it makes it all nice and wet. So when summertime comes along, it's still kind of got that foresty, moistness. And so if a fire were to happen, the forest would be able to defend itself. So now, because the winters have been quite dry, the forests are not going to be able to defend themselves. And I do fear if that fire would somehow make its way to Long Island, that would be a really devastating scenario. I mean, when I was a little kid, there was the fire. There was a fire out east in the Riverhead area, and I that was in '92. I was in second grade, and I don't remember ever seeing smoke and ash. But we called that the summer of no summer because we didn't have smoke and ash, but it was not like the best summer. We had mostly rain and things like that. But I'm sure that helped, put the fires out. But I never saw smoke and ash. So smoke and ash being seen from Canada, that's pretty wild. You know, that's pretty wild. Um, I can only imagine what the forest animals and such are going through too. You know, I guess we got to start doing a better job of taking care of Mother Earth. She's our one, and one Mother Earth is very to, you know, hey Mona, so good to see you. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I'm at least I guess that's the one joy of not being in Florida right now is that I don't have to deal with the smoke and the ash. If that's even still a thing, I don't even know. I don't know. But we've been having a lot of thunderstorms down here. They said there's actually three hurricanes building up in the Caribbean, so that's a little, it is what it is, folks. We got to start taking care of Mother Earth a little bit better, I think. You know? So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but hopefully hopefully Canada can get it under control. I don't know, do we want to talk about the submarine shenanigans? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't have much to say on it. I wish I kind of did. I just wish it wasn't just taking up, all of the media right now. I mean, not to come off as insensitive or anything like that, but it's a bunch of billionaires that did something that they shouldn't have done. I understand there's probably like a thrill of going, to the bottom of the ocean and seeing the Titanic, but the way I look at it is that's a graveyard, my friends. Leave that alone. You know, you don't go into someone's grave and be a pest. You know, so I don't think that's a good thing to do. That's just my thoughts on it. I think that it's kind of like opening one of those the mummy's tombs. You don't want to do that because God only knows what's under there. We are doing quite well, Mona. There are not storm. Well, right now, I don't know. It rains. I think we're in the rain season. Every day we have a thunderstorm in the late afternoon to the evening. They get a little bit much. But there is supposedly some hurricanes forming out there. I think that they said there was Tropical Storm Brett, and by the time it hits a certain part of the Caribbean, it most likely would form into a hurricane. But when that is and how that's going to work, I don't know. I won't be home for the weekend. I'll be in New York for a family function. So I don't know. But Florida is interesting. It's it is what it is. This world is just in a funky place. It's just in a funky place. But yeah, this submarine thing, I think it's taken up way too much media coverage. I really don't think they're gonna find this. I don't think they're gonna find it. And if they do, I mean, yay. If not, I don't know. I mean, I guess they have to do everything in their power to at least say they tried to look for it. I don't know. To me, I think it's just a waste of resources at this point. I don't know. It's like the saying, yeah. Yeah, going back to New York for a family function. Hey, Tupac! I went live earlier talking about somebody you don't like. Ugh. Oh man, I guess we'll have to discuss that again at some point. I might go do a little shopping up there, not much because it's the end of the month and I can't do much with that. But I have a family function. I'm going there Friday and coming back Monday, so I'm not going to be doing too much. But yeah. Wow. What's a Japanese bear? I need some toxic diarrhea. Tell me what I need. But Tupac, we were talking about Rosie before. She's a real piece of work, that one. Listen, at this point, leave that girl alone. Leave that girl alone, YouTube. Leave that girl alone. Cuckoo. There's a channel. I discovered a whole channel that says, bad things about her. And trust me, I mean, I'm sure there have been videos made about myself, because I was in that group a while ago and, fell into the traps of certain people. But, wow. But yeah, this Titanic subset thing, I don't know. I don't know. It's a bunch of billionaires, and it shows the amount of wealth and things like that. I mean, I don't wish them any ill will or anything like that. It's just at this point, it's like I guess they have to. Like I said, I guess they kind of have to. Um, do everything that they have to do to try to find them. But it's like, first of all, some of these people don't even live in America. Their own country should be stepping up and helping out and things like that. I mean, but at this point, I just don't see. Yeah, I think she could be up there. I think she could definitely be up there. Although, from what I understand, that group is no more. So there's that. But yeah, I think she's. Well, the thing is, the thing with her is, from what I understand, she doxes people. That if you don't know what doxing is when somebody, exposes your personal information, and that's not okay. And swatting, if you're not sure what swatting is when somebody calls the popo on somebody who's live and lies and says they have a bunch of pew pew pews or whatever they say, and the SWAT team comes to someone's house, and I mean it's just not cool. Oh, Japanese beers. Oh, I like to taste the beer. But I have been experimenting with some alcoholic beverages lately. Here's the crazy thing is, in Florida, you can go to Sam's Club or Trader Joe's or whatever, and they'll give you samples of alcoholic beverages. That's news to my ears. I don't drive, so it doesn't, affect me going home. But I always end up buying whatever it is I'm tasting. Like we went to Sam's Club the other day, and we were able to sample Mike's Hard Lemonade, but it was like a peach flavor. It was quite good. But I don't want to have that stuff laying around, I live across the street from Aldi, and Aldi sells all kinds of Irish cream and stuff. It's crazy. So in New York, they can't do that. But Rosie, I don't know. Whatever you hear from other people that's bad, believe it. See, the thing with the Sunnies is I truly believed. Yeah, I know. The thing with the Sunnies is, I think that in the beginning there were good intentions, but the problem is, everybody wants to be a superstar, right? And I think that's what got to that group, is that we all want to be a superstar, and it can only be one super. That's what it was thought to be. And when anyone else was becoming a superstar, it wasn't really liked. So I think that's the problem. But I wish them well. You know, Rosie though, she's just, I don't know. Louis Fuller, he comes in I've known him for years, and he has been a really good supporter of mine, and Haggis and all those folks. Louis is a really sweet gentleman, and he is a very good supporter to all. And I think that, unfortunately, because he is such a sweet person like myself, it's easy for people to take advantage. Like myself. I mean, I was manipulated and taken advantage of for how long, you know? you know? And, when there are people out there who take advantage of your kindness. And unfortunately, here on YouTube and TikTok, it happens a little bit too much. They're called social climbers. And, Frankie, cut it out. I have one of those Ring cameras, and I think she suspects people are out there before the Ring camera would let me know someone's there. you know, but it's something that will protect you. So if you can get one of those, I thought I saw that Prime Day is coming. If you use Amazon Prime Day is coming, and that's how I got mine. And I highly suggest, if you can get one of those Ring cameras, do it. I mean, I'm in a building for condos, so there is. Let me hold on. 23, that's 46 and 67. There's 67 condos in this one building. Oh, I can go on, Mona. It's just, and it happens. She's just a flat out knockout, drag out, narcissistic person. I don't think she's very nice. I think she's very entitled. Like, one time I was live, and the first time I ever encountered her, she came into my stream and right away says, "Give me a wrench." No, I'm not gonna give you a wrench. I don't know you. I said that. I don't know you. She says, "Well, I'm a moderator on all the channels." Well, I'm not all the channels. I'm Miss Kelly. This is my channel, so I'm not gonna do that. And she got nasty with me. I said, "Well, if you want me to give you a wrench, I have to get to know you a little bit better." And she kept asking and asking and asking. You know, and then I heard through the grapevine that she was doxing other people, and I know she's not very nice to White Tupac there. I know that they have their history, so I don't know. But Louis Fuller is a very sweet gentleman, and I'm tired of seeing people walk all over him or anybody else on here, because it's just not nice. I was walked all over for years on here, and you truly, you don't really know somebody until something bad happens and how they react to it. And that's what happened. Because I have mental health issues, um, I don't really like to expose people close to me, like friend wise, to my panic and anxiety. Like, I've been abused as a child, by, fellow students and adults, by teachers. And I just want to make this very clear: just because I had teachers who were abusive to me doesn't mean to me that all teachers are bad and things like that. They're just people out there who become teachers for the wrong reasons. I remember, like, not long ago on TikTok or something, Megan Trainer, the girl who with the musician, she did a podcast with Trisha Paytas. I mean, that what can go wrong there, right? So she was doing a podcast with Trisha Paytas, and Trisha Paytas has made false allegations about teachers that have done bad things to her, and so on and so forth. And I think they were asking if she was going to homeschool, and Megan Trader said "f teachers." Like that's just awful. You have, she has the privilege to homeschool her children. Although I don't see how that would work, because she's a musician and she goes on the road. So I don't understand how she would possibly be able to really homeschool her child. I don't even know how she's really going to have much of an impact on her child if she's going to be out on the road, singing songs and stuff, right? But somebody's cooking something. It smells good. Yeah, I don't owe anybody a wrench, and nobody owes anybody a wrench. Just because you were you know a moderator at one of the at one of the growth streams doesn't mean somebody's cooking something and it smells really good in the building. That's a first. I don't think I've ever had a food smell blow into my condo before. I'm not quite sure what it is. But, so just because I had a bad experience with teachers doesn't mean I think all teachers are bad. And I've actually had some really good ones. And where I grew up originally, the teachers that we had were the highest paid teachers in the nation. I don't think they are, paid what they deserve, because if they got paid what they deserve, then they would probably get nothing or like half of what they make, you know. It seems like Long Island is like the highest paid of everything, cops, teachers, and so on. But you don't get the service that is paid via your tax dollars. So I think that's ridiculous. you know. So I don't think F teachers, but because of all the stuff that I've been through, and I'm having conflicts with my dad. We're not really getting along anymore, and I don't think our relationship is really good. Because of that, I'm such an empath. I'm like the worst empath of them all, because I just have such empathy for people that don't deserve it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's cooking. You know what? My building is very diverse. The guy across the way there, he is from India. The lady next door, she's from Brooklyn. I don't know about the one across the way there, but there's a lot of, Caribbean and Hispanic people. And oh, there goes the lightning now. I just saw it. An Indian and all those kinds of people. So yeah, I don't think I've ever smelled someone cooking food before. If I get out, if when I go out in the morning, there is a diner across the street, which I still haven't gone to. But sometimes I could smell, if they have a lot of people over there, I could definitely, smell. And there's also an IHOP. There's a diner over there, and there's an IHOP a few doors down that way. So you can kind of get like a bacon, breakfast smell out there sometimes. Depends on how much is, how popular it is. It's mostly on the weekends. During the week, not so much. Although Florida breakfast is not the same as a New York breakfast, so you know, I don't, I'm not really all that interested. Although, the one thing I always say to people is that when you move to New York from Florida, to Florida from New York, you can't you can't expect New York food here. And the thing I feel like, the thing that people miss the most is things like pizza and bagels. I mean, don't get me wrong, a bagel is, that's something, but there's just so much more flavor here. So, if that's the stuff that you're missing and you're not interested in trying the other stuff, then that goes to show what kind of flavor you're lacking. you know, I went to a there was a grand opening 2 weeks ago at a taco place down the street, and I was in the first 100 people won a year of free tacos. I can go once, so I can get one free taco a week. Um, and it was good, but that's Tex-Mex. They said that they're Tex-Mex, so they're not 100% Mexican. But if you go over there, there is there's that place, and then there is a Golden Crust, which is a Jamaican beef patty place, and then on the other side of that, there is a different there's a rice and bean type of place. I don't know I don't know what country they represent. So, but they have rice and beans. You know, my mom thinks that all countries make the same rice and beans, and that's definitely not true. But I mean, they're rice and beans, but there's different flavor and there's different beans. As odd as it sounds, Mexicans don't make the same food as Puerto Ricans. They make tacos and enchiladas and things like that, and Puerto Ricans make arroz con gandules and things like that. Thank you. Yeah, my dad, I don't know what's going on there. You know what? It's a matter You know what? It's a matter of one thing is politics. We don't agree on that. And there's just things that my dad is not somebody who knows and understands mental illness. And he's told me recently that he feels that he is too old to really learn and understand how my mental illness in particular works. He believes that some of the stuff that's out there, like drag queens are in front of children. Are there drag shows meant for children, like Drag Queen Story Hour? Sure. Are there drag shows that are a little bit more elevated that maybe is slightly okay for children? Probably, I don't know, but that's up to the discretion of the parent. I feel, you know. I mean, my kids are much older now, and I mean, would I take Jacob to a drag show? Probably not, because he's just immature. Would I take Isabel to a drag show? I mean, yeah. I mean, she's gonna be 16 years old in December. I mean, would I take her to one that's sexually explicit? No, absolutely not. But anything else, I mean, when I was in high school, we went on cruise ships. And if you don't know, cruise ships have Vegas style shows. And Vegas style shows would equate, male and female dancers in thongs. I don't remember any parents really. I don't remember parents really saying no to that idea. So, I mean, there are parents who will take their sons to Hooters or something of that nature. And I think that's far worse than a drag show, because at that rate, you are objectifying women, and, you're creating this thought process in a little boy's mind that it's okay to treat women as property, because that's how I think of Hooters. So you're creating, maybe some little boys will correlate that as not being a good idea, but there are some out there that just, and you don't really know until they're adults. So, um, and I don't, and I just have to say this is that I really don't believe drag queens are coming for your children. Transgender people are not coming for your children. Nobody wants anything to do with your children, really. They just want to live their life and do what they want to do and survive every day that they wake up and not worry about someone who's going to beat them to a bloody pulp. So I really don't believe any of these people are coming for your children. They're not indoctrinating your children. If your child is trans, they're trans. That's just the bottom line of it. They're trans, you know? It is what it is. You're born that way. You're born time. I didn't know I didn't know how I truly felt. I went to high school with a gentleman who was very gay. He wore 9-inch heels most of the time, but none of the teachers really encouraged his behavior. They just encouraged him to be himself. And that's basically what I think teachers are doing, is that they're just encouraging children to be themselves. They're not encouraging them to be something else other than that, because they just got too many other things to worry about than transitioning your child into somebody else. Yeah, just craziness. I mean, trans has been around forever, and trans is beautiful. These people are wonderful people. They don't want to be harmed. They just want to live their life, and that's about it. Work opportunities in Florida. I've tried. So here's the thing: is that I'm on disability. So here's because I'm on disability, I'm allowed to make 980 extra. But see, the thing is, I'm allowed to make 980 extra for my Social Security check, my disability check. But the issue is my Medicaid, the kids' Medicaid. So if I make that 980 extra, then I take the risk of losing my insurance. So unless if a job were to pay, let's say, double what I make in Social Security plus benefits, it really wouldn't benefit me at this point in time. But I am working on going to a trade school, hopefully sometime next year. I'm thinking of taking the cosmetology program, and so I can um I want to start a business where I can that would take a lot of time and a lot of, stuff, but um traveling hairdressers is a very big thing. The cheaper cost of living, no, Florida is no longer a cheaper cost of living. It might have been at one point, but it's not anymore. It's about the same as New York. So, yeah. Well, I'm 37. So, yeah. I guess I'm old enough to have a 16-year-old, but kind of not really. If I can go back in time, I would have changed a lot of things. And if I had really, if I had really had, the support to really think about myself and who I really was, rather than trying to impress my dad, who is just not I can't, well, no matter what I do, I can't impress him. It's, I've tried. I think a lot of the scenarios in my life could have been different. I mean, do I like men? Am I attracted to men? Yeah, I'm attracted to men. But am I attracted to women? Yes, actually, I do find women attractive, and I do find transgender people attractive. I consider myself to be pansexual, and the way that we explain that is we believe in hearts, not parts. So what you have in your heart is what I am attracted to, and gender is just not part of that. I don't equate that as the person, to the person. Um, so yeah, and honestly, after Painkiller passed away. I don't know if I would even be interested in finding someone at this point. And Florida is just a mixed bag of people. I would literally have to date somebody that would have similar views. And there are people here in this part of Florida that do. John actually was Painkiller was a Republican, and I would say I'm somebody who doesn't take sides, but I lean more left than I do right. But I see faults and things on both sides. Um, but there are people out there who can have relationships like that, where they have different views, and it's just friendly banter, and that's what it is. Medicare is linked with Social Security. So because I get disability, I automatically get Medicare. But with Medicare, I need to have Medicaid, which pays what Medicare doesn't pay for. And Medicare is only for me because I'm on disability. So the children don't get Medicare, they get Medicaid. So, but Medicaid is a income-based program. So because of that, if I were to make more money, it would be, yeah. His birthday was just a couple of days ago, and I've been thinking about him a lot, and you know, it's really sad. And I was contacted recently by other people, and whether or not I would be okay with rejoining that community, and I would not, just simply because I think I'm just gonna, you know. But they're free to come on my channel, and they're free to support, and I guess I'll support them. But that's about it. You know, I like being myself and doing my own thing. I do want to start putting content out again. The who are not fans of Florida right now because of our current legislation. They do not like, the stuff that's going on with LGBTQ community. They don't like the way that Disney's being treated. The migrant workers had to leave. I just want to explain something. From what I understand is, from the farmer's point of view, is that migrant workers are not illegal people. These are people who are migrants. They come here for a season, they pick whatever produce or whatever needs to be picked, and then they go home. So, thank you, Mona. I do my best, and I think that's why I like being by myself. I mean, I'm in Lewis. I'm in the chat with Lewis Fuller, and okay. See you later, Mona. I'm not gonna be live for much longer. Maybe a few more minutes. I'm gonna try to go live again tomorrow and see how that goes. Just because I haven't been doing this for a while, in a while. But I do want to put stuff out there, of stuff that's in Florida, but I just don't want to go through, oh, it's Florida. Why are you doing it? But I understand that there's people who are not feeling comfortable with things going on here. I'm not very comfortable with things going on here. I don't support the things that are going on here just simply because I don't. Um, but the problem is this. The reason why we're in the scenario that we are in right now is because it's just like any toxic relationship that we have, right? you know because of the way that I grew up respecting my elders. That's just the way we were taught, right? And that's still a really good thing. And that's why I'm having such an issue with my dad, is that because he is my elder and he's my parent, I have grown up with the idea that I have to respect him despite what he does and whether or not I like it or not. But because I was doing that, I was allowing myself to um, come to this conclusion that I'm just going to accept all behavior from people until, until it's not the right behavior, right? So I think that's what it is. Because I was accepting my dad's behavior, I in turn learned to disrespect myself because I was disrespecting myself by saying, Dad, what you're doing is disrespecting me, and it's hurtful and it's traumatizing. And I would appreciate it if you would take my feelings into consideration. He would never have taken my feelings into consideration, but maybe if I had spoken up for myself long before now and said and put my foot down and said I'm not going to accept this behavior, I wouldn't have become a doormat to many people. I unfortunately have accepted friendships with people that I probably shouldn't have accepted friendships from and stayed with because I am so afraid to be by myself. And when you're afraid to be by yourself and you just accept things for what it is, and that's why it is the way it is. That's why I think Charlie Hunnam's been with his girlfriend for so long, is that he fears the unknown out there. If he drops this girlfriend and he's like the sexiest man alive or whatever, it's going to cause some folks to want to have a relationship with him, and maybe he's afraid of what's on the other side, or I don't know. But that's what it is for me sometimes, is that I'm afraid to be assertive for myself because I don't to give up on people, because I mean I'm no prize sometimes. um so that's where I'm at. So unfortunately, when it comes to friendships and relationships, it all boils down to how you. Hey, Blucky, how are you? How are things? I like the new name. So that's why things are the way they are in my life, is that I'm doing well. Um I'm in Florida right now, and I'm enjoying it for the most part. I'm glad you're doing well. Glad you're doing well, and I'm glad I'm going to start going live a bit more. I don't know days, times, because the kids are in New York till Monday, so I don't know how that's going to look when I get back. But Jacob goes to summer school, so I could probably go live during the day. Maybe I could do my coffee chat, fabulous coffee, and then it just grow on you. And then I finally took the plunge and I started ordering it, and it's literally the best coffee flavors I've had. It's the Bones. Oh, excuse me, the Bones Coffee Company. They're actually here in Florida. They're in a town. I think they're in Cape Coral, which is Cape Coral. I think might be in the Miami-Dade area. I'm not quite sure. They're not far from here, but they're far enough away where I couldn't just go pick up the bags. But they ship it. They make all kinds of flavors. Right now, my favorite flavor is the Spider-Man, which is a Rice Krispie treat, but you don't really taste the Rice Krispie treat. It's more remember Road. Who's that? I was hoping Eric would come in here. Eric. I don't know if you guys know Eric. Eric's lady passed away. Hazel. I saw that on Instagram. Gosh. What place, Bucky? Eric Hernandez. He comes on here sometimes. Eric Garcia. I'm sorry. Eric comes on. He would come into our streams, and his girlfriend would come in shortly thereafter. Hazel. I found out she passed away on Instagram. That's so sad. They were YouTube's power couple. You know, I don't know what to say. Sad. A lot of good people have been passing away lately. You know, I don't know what world we're living in right now, but it's just not the world that you know, it's just not the world that is great. You know, I talk about my friend Howie who's in jail, you know, due to the you know the incident, you know, and oops, Jacob's medicines and the camera. Oh, New York, Long Island. Yeah, I'm not living there anymore. I don't live in New York anymore. I'm in Florida now, but I'm going to go visit on the weekend for a yes, I am from Long Island. Not anymore though. I don't live there anymore. But I was from Long Island. Now I'm in Florida. One day I'll go back though. One day I think I'll go back. Now, unfortunately, with everything going on in Florida, I don't think that I'll stay here forever. I'm not a fan of all this crazy stuff, you know. But you know, it's just one of those things. But honestly, the world is very crazy. I'm doing 20 to life for an accident that he really didn't do, and I was talking to him because in the jails now they'll give inmates tablets so they don't have to use a computer room. You know, with COVID and things like that, that's a really good thing to have. They pay for it; it's not free. The cost has gone up. Florida is not as cheap to live anymore. It's not. I mean, I don't know what it was like before, but then again, we're just in a place right now where things are just. I really don't know how we come back from all that's going on right now. You know, I wish I had an answer to that. Um, I think bottom line is that, for one, we have people who are in government that have been there a little, really, you know, too long, and I think that, you know, term limits need to be a thing, and you know, this country needs to be progressive. We need to start. Um, yeah, Russia. Yeah, what they're doing to the people of Ukraine is just sad. However, I don't agree with Biden giving money. That's probably the one thing I think I could agree with. I don't know what it is that they need. You know, I don't know. And unfortunately, there's a possibility of another war, right? China wants to go after Taiwan. We're drifting into some dangerous times here. You know, I think part of it is you know, we need to be more progressive. We need to make progress, which is what we're not doing, and that's why we're in this place of. Oh yeah, that's definitely why cost is going up, is Russia. Absolutely. Yeah, because a lot of our grains and things like that are grown. Well, they were grown in Ukraine, and now they can't do that right now because it's it's a war zone, and I don't even know. I don't even know if you'd want any grains from Ukraine at this point. If the ground is like toxic, it's going to be toxic from all the bombs and things that are, you know, going on there. You know, it's going to be there's a lot going on. I don't know. I don't know. See, Russia is a country that needs progress as well, but I don't think that's really in their cards. But this country we need to make progress. we need to not erase history, but we can't like not teach it, you know. Is there some history out there that's going to be uncomfortable to discuss? Absolutely, but without it being a little uncomfortable, we're not going to learn from it and change. And there's a lot of change that needs to be done. A lot of change that needs to be done, and we need to make progress. And with progress means we need term limits in the government on both sides. We need new people. We need people with newer ideas. Um, but unfortunately, the problem is we also have a lot of the people in this country living in the country that still have those same old tired ideas. And just like a typical abuser, they want us just to forget things and move forward. That's what an abuser or a gaslighter would want you to do. They don't want you to learn these things or anything. They just want to leave it in the past and just move on. But in many cases, we can't do that because, unfortunately, if we don't learn those things and get a little uncomfortable, we're not going to fix it. You know, so I do believe like um, if you don't want your child to take CRT or whatever they're calling the class, then your child doesn't have to take that. They don't have to, right? Maybe it should just be you know a class that people just sign up for. And if you don't want it, if you don't want your kid to take it, then they don't take it. But don't stop other people from taking it and learning. But you know what? The government has always had a control on what schools teach. And that's just what it is. They don't want you to learn new things and advance. Exactly, just power. That's why we are where we are, is that people are starting to learn new things about things of our past that are uncomfortable, right? There are things about our past that are not comfortable, and they they're not comfortable, but it's something we need to discuss. And unless if we get uncomfortable and discuss it, then we're not going to move on. And that's what being a progressive is all about. The, yeah, it is rush. It is rubbish. So that's basically it. Is that we have to get a little uncomfortable to move forward. You know, that's how I look at it. People are upset with Target, right? That's the big conversation at the moment because Target sells Pride merchandise, but they've always sold Pride merchandise. You know. Oh gosh, guys, I gotta go. I got a phone call coming in. I gotta talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello.
Well, we rented ice cream